So when you're carrying everyone else's stress, it's an important conversation to have. I think it's an important topic for this this first video that I'm putting out there, because I think it's timely actually with this time of year. People are obviously already stressed for a litany of different reasons, and taking on more stress than you should is very unhealthy. And taking on stress for other people is um, sometimes seen as selfless. I actually think it hurts you more than anything. I think sometimes it can be kind of selfish because you sometimes feel like you're taking on that stress because you're doing somebody else some good. And actually, long term, you're kind of hurting them because you're sometimes it's sort of in a way you're enabling that person to underperform. When you overperform and you take on stress that's perhaps theirs to take on. So when you find that you're in the family or in your group, you're somebody who is often the kind of emotional anchor, or people come to you quite frequently with problems and complaints, and they want to lay it all at your feet. I think it's important for you to take a step back, look at what it is that they are stressed about, and see if it's really something that you need to dial into and assist them in taking on that stress. So in that, I think I hate to use the word selfish, but I actually think that it's more important for you to focus on your own stress and what you can do and not take on others' stress. So if somebody were to come to me and mention this to me and start talking through that, especially in this time of the season, as you can see on the blog post, there's three pretty powerful questions I would ask to help them recognize that not you're kind of pouring from an empty well, and you can't do that. You really have to save some emotional anchor for yourself and emotional baggage for yourself. You don't want to take on everybody else's emotional baggage. So the first question I would ask is, what emotion have you been ignoring in yourself? Like, what are you by taking on the stress of somebody else? What are you ignoring in yourself that you need to realize? It's really important that you articulate that clearly, and take stock of it and really make it a point to identify that stress, or rather that emotion that you are taking on behalf of somebody else. And also, let's be honest, like, what is yours to carry and what is not? It's an important question to ask. Are you taking on something that is none of your damn business? It's not a stressor that you need to be taking on. They either didn't ask you to, or maybe they were just venting and then you took on that stress on behalf of them, but they didn't ask you to, right? They didn't ask you to step in. So ask yourself that question, like, am I doing something proactively that I think is helping them? Or am I actually just taking on the stress for no reason and they never asked me to step in? So the other question that I like to ask people, just in a general coaching perspective, is, and this is for any topic really, not just taking on somebody else's stress or when you feel like you're taking everybody else's stress on, is if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? Or vice versa. If I say no to this path, what am I saying yes to, or what am I opening myself up to that could be positive? And I think this is an important question to craft around taking on too much stress or taking stress on yourself that maybe is unnecessary, which is, what would releasing that weight allow you to do? So if you were to take a step back from that stress that maybe you're stepping forward and just kind of taking those bullets, if you were to step back for a second and release that stress and set it down and say, you know what, this is not for me to handle, what does that then open you up to do for yourself, for your family, to make yourself as healthy, especially this time of year when people are struggling and there's a lot of stress out there. So what would releasing that weight allow you to do? I think it's an important question to ask yourself rolling into this season, into the holiday season. So what I would have you do this week is to answer those powerful questions. Choose one thing that you think that you could set down and set it down. It doesn't have to be something big, right? I don't want you to pick something that you've been doing for years and just set it down and never do it again, right? I'd rather you pick something small so you can see a small win. So if there's something small that maybe you've been taking on, a stressor that you don't have to do, and there's going to be little to no negative repercussions other than maybe just kind of your internal struggle, which you can handle, take that step, write it down, commit to it, and just make sure that during the season you be there for yourself, and that makes you more capable of being there for your family. But don't take on stress that you don't need. It's not necessary. So look at those three powerful questions, see if there's something out there that can really resonate with you, and write it down and commit. Right. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the post for this week.